All right, everyone. This is another episode of In the Store.
In the store.
In the store.
All right, Ben.
Woo.
Come on. What's it gonna take to prove to you right now? No, I don't want to prove to you. To convince you that the Earth is flat.
Show me a picture.
All right, why don't you show me a picture of the round Earth?
I will.
All right, none of this Photoshop bullshit
None of this
from
fucking
NASA.
bullshit, bro.
Dude, NASA is 100% reliable, and you know it.
You want to know what NASA is? It's 100% made by Nazis.
Made by Nazis.
Yeah, it was Nazis. Nazis is the reason that we have NASA. I mean, Operation Paperclip, we grabbed the best Nazis out of Germany after we destroyed them,
Dude.
and we
We
brought them
got
to the
NASA
United
now,
States.
though.
Well, yeah,
NASA
we got NASA out of it.
NASA means deceive in Hebrew, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
If you didn't know.
Huh.
Ooh,
But it
that
also
interested
stands
you.
for National Astronomy.
You know what NASA stands
Surveillance
for? It doesn't
Agency.
NASA stand for like Nazi Scientists of America?
What does it stand for? Does anybody know? Like, for real?
National.
It's got to be like National
National Airspace.
Of Nazi confidants.
Nazi-
Astronomy. I don't know.
All right. We don't have a young Jamie, so we have to Google it
Look
in
it up
real
ourselves.
time.
So we're looking it up now.
Now, NASA stands for Nazi Scientists of America. There we go.
Nazi Scientists of America.
National Aeronautics and Space Administration.
Yeah, like I believe those motherfuckers.
Oh, shit, bro.
Here, what does NASA mean in Hebrew? To deceive. Oh my god, that's just freaky, dude.
That is kind of.
That's
NASA
real, bro.
is.
That's real.
Look, what does NASA mean in Hebrew? To deceive. What a weird thing they just happen to use NASA to describe.
Complete
our-
coincidence.
Yeah, very, very weird coincidence, I'd say.
Anyway, there's.
Hey, sometimes there's coincidences.
You know what I like? Why I like fucking around and pretending like flat Earth is probably the Earth really is. Let's assume in this crazy hypothetical that we don't know what the fuck we're on and that they're lying about space. That makes space so much more interesting.
Yeah,
Because
it
whatever
does.
the fuck you look at those domes, like, oh, okay, those lights are some other shit, and they don't want to tell us what it is.
Yeah.
I wonder.
That's
You know what's more interesting?
Well, all right, lay it on me.
God.
The ocean.
The ocean.
We know more about space than we do about the
You wanna
ocean.
know why?
Yeah, I agree. We do.
wanna
That's
know
because we
why?
don't know because we can't get to fucking
Yeah.
space.
They don't want to. They don't want us to find Atlantis.
I know, right? I really do think that there's
Something.
underwater civilizations. There has to be, dude.
Oh, 100%. And there's so much water that we could never find everything.
yeah, you can't. Even if you send like a ship down there that doesn't have any people in it, the ship will crush and get destroyed by the water.
Yeah, and then our deserts literally have ancient civilization ruins all over
Yeah.
them. Our deserts are giant oceans.
Giant
Of,
oceans.
Yeah.
mini sand or mini rocks.
It's crazy.
I'd definitely like to ask. What's the word?
Ooh.
Yeah. Hey, watch your leg,
Fucking
faggot.
homos.
Don't you guys hate it when like
You
you
guys are
accidentally
fucking
touch
gay.
hands or like your leg brushes by another dude and you just look at him like, what the fuck do you think you're doing?
Who the fuck?
No, what happens though when you touch the dude's leg and then he just immediately just stares you in the eyes?
Yeah, like it's like, was that you?
It was me.
You motherfucker.
Let me show you a good time. No, it's trippy though. The ocean is trippy. There's parts of the ocean where like there's certain fish and like certain types of sharks.
Can only live there.
They only live in the deep depths of the ocean that we can't get to, and they swim up to the top sometimes to get fish, but then they just go right back down, and
Alright,
we have
Ben.
no idea where they
I
go.
mean,
What would it take, dude? What would it take to convince you that the Earth is actually hollow?
Hollow?
Hollow.
That's easier to believe.
Really? How the fuck would you believe that over that we don't know what the fuck we're on?
I don't know, dude. Because I've never actually. Because there's no way to prove that there's something in the inside of the Earth.
I know you think I'm kidding, but literally every NASA picture released of the Earth, they say they need to fill it with composites because the image is too big. Those pictures are almost 80% Photoshop. I don't believe a single picture of fucking Earth from space.
Dude, it just. There's too much shit, dude.
There's too much.
There's
shit.
too much.
What do you mean there's too much?
You cannot. And I know I already brought this up. You explained it a little bit, but. How is it
Yeah. Go ahead, argue with the flat
that
Earth.
we
Uh-huh.
have day at the same time that China has night?
Oh my.
How is that possible? If
That
the Earth
we
is
have
flat?
day when China has
When
night?
we're right now, people in China are sleeping. It's like 3 o'clock
That's
in the
because
morning.
the sun is further away from them on whatever fucking platform we're at.
But it would. But if it's flat, they would still be able to see the sun. It would be farther away, but they would still be able to see it.
But you don't know that. You don't know if I'm here and something gets further enough out of my view, over mountains or whatever the horizon is.
This is us. This is China. Flat Earth. Even if the sun is all the way in this corner, this person is still going to be able to see it, even if it's way out of view. But if the Earth is round, then it's literally on the other side of the Earth, so you can't see it, and it's black.
All right,
nighttime.
well, I'm not a legit flat earther, so it's hard for me to argue that, because honestly, I know they have a solar system structure.
Their explanation of it?
But I know they have an explanation. I don't know how they rationalize it, but I think it could work. So think of it as a light, as the sun as some sort of big ball, some sort of beaming down light like a spotlight over the fucking Earth.
So
now, if that spotlight isn't over you, maybe you couldn't see the orb. Maybe that's my assumption, but I don't know the explanation.
That's what I'm saying. The light would be a lot dimmer. You wouldn't be able to see it hardly at all, because obviously it's thousands of miles away in terms of like from China to the United States. But you'd still be able to see something.
Absolutely.
That's the sun. And I even am willing to say, like, because you said yesterday, oh, the sun just goes down and then comes back up every day. So that kind of makes sense. I could believe that. But it doesn't make sense how we have night at different times than other people in the world have night. If everybody had night at the same time, then I'd probably be like, yeah.
Well, that's why I said it's like a spotlight. Look, you're assuming. Look, you're like, oh, the sun's right there. Of course, someone from China is going to be able to see if it's always in the sky.
Yeah.
But you're not taking into account the distance, how fucking far away that is over mountains and everything. Honestly, it could be just a spotlight.
But it's thousands of miles into the air.
That's what they fucking tell you, dude. It's hard to argue with someone if you believe the schematic that they give you. If you believe the solar system.
No, I'm just talking straight 100% logical fact.
No,
okay?
dude, don't ever invoke facts.
I don't know if it's logical fact.
No, it's not logical fact. It's an educated guess. Now
guess.
check
I'm
this
gonna
out.
get you, son. I'm gonna get you to.
Now just think about it
believe
like
the
this, and
flat
I
Earth.
know that it's a lot lower of a scale, obviously, but think about this room as the Earth.
Okay.
We're over here in this corner. China's over in that corner. We have this big light that's chilling.
Okay,
like
you're
in the middle.
You're assuming that's the sun, though. You're assuming that's that
But
big of a light.
even if this light was right above us, the person over here can still see the light in the sky. It's a lot dimmer than if it was like right
That's
above
why I said
them.
it's like a beam, like a spotlight. So let's say
like these.
Let's say that whole thing's over there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm microscopic and on the floor, and I'm looking directly up. I am not gonna have my field of vision is trust me, I'm not gonna have any clue that the other side of the planet is lit up because.
But
of
if you
the sun.
look at the sun, it's not a spotlight. It's in like the corner. It's not right above us.
Well, it's so big that you wouldn't think it's a spotlight.
Dude.
There's lots of ways to think about it.
You ever got a pen in your fucking jugular?
All right. Look, I'll tell you this one thing.
Okay, just making sure.
Oh yeah, I am not some loon. I promise you, dude. You know me.
Yeah, I know.
You know I wouldn't think that there's any credence to it if there wasn't.
Yeah.
Now there's a legitimate argument that we never went to the moon. And
That's a lot more.
Can you
believable,
agree with
yeah.
that?
That's a lot more believable.
Okay.
Yes.
So the second you convince yourself of that, that's how you make the giant leap into they're lying to us about everything about.
I think for
space.
me,
So unless you convince yourself of that, I could never convince you of that all this other crazy shit I'm telling you.
It's a lot more believable to believe that we didn't go to the moon, but it just sucks to believe that. Like, if we didn't go to the moon, that's stupid. Like, what
No,
the
it's
fuck?
not
That's like a
stupid.
major
'Cause the moon is amazing.
United States fucking milestone.
Yeah, but they had to do it. They had to beat the Russians.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just
Yeah.
the Russians kept
They're
dying,
forced.
and they didn't know why they were dying. You know why? They were hitting a fucking something. They were hitting
Yeah.
something the second they were trying to get out of our atmosphere. That's why they call it the radiation belt, where you can't take pictures or any video or anything over a certain height in our atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's because you can't fucking reach that thing.
So
dude.
what are you gonna say when, the Mars mission?
Yeah.
That's coming up in like a couple years.
Yeah.
I think, isn't it soon?
Yeah.
Soon.
I
They're
feel
going
like-
back to the moon, quote unquote, back to the moon.
So what are you
going
gonna say when those motherfuckers literally shoot that fucking giant metal dick into the sky
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
land
man.
and fucking sperm themselves all over Mars? and they have a video recording it.
Do you know
what are you going to say?
Apollo 18, do you know how many moon missions there's been?
I don't know.
There's been 18. That's why it's Apollo 18.
Yeah.
It's been 18 moon missions. They've faked every single fucking one of them. Why wouldn't they fake another one with better technology to fake shit with?
Yeah, it's just, I feel like it's just too much.
No,
Those
I know. That's
people are
because you're
literally
rational.
going to their fucking deaths.
Yeah. Well, look, think about it like this. You grew up in the United States. You learned the geocentric model with the sun, everything gravitating around it. You know that since birth. I know that since birth. I know how space works. I understand the sun is a giant star the gravity holds everything in place, and that's why we hover around it. But if you get down to it, it doesn't make their model makes no fucking sense.
But you can take a telescope to Mars and
you can
literally see it through a telescope.
So there's something there.
So why is everything round?
And it looks round.
Yeah.
But no. Speaking of Mars,
it looks 3D.
Yeah. Because we don't see a flat disc like that when we see Mars.
If we look at
Mars looks like
if it was flat, it would look like this. Because we'd just be looking at the side of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it literally looks like a 3D planet.
Well, yeah, I can grant you that those things are there because I can see the moon too, and it looks like that. It's circular. It's like that.
We can see the goddamn fucking moon.
Same with the sun. If you look at the silhouette, it's kind of like perfect circular.
All right, so let me hit you with this, dude.
All right.
You know how there's been a whole bunch of shit dumped, a whole bunch of CIA bunch of CIA files recently declassified. Trump just declassified a whole bunch of shit.
My boy.
About UFOs and shit.
There's about UFOs, and then there's one about the CIA finding pyramid-like structures on Mars. And let me open this for you guys so you can see.
Dude, people have been talking about that forever. They said that humanity started because there was some sort of great war in Mars, and our human civilization couldn't last there anymore because the planet was destroyed.
Wouldn't that be such a trip?
They came to
if
here
they
and they
found out that we
terraformed
came from Mars.
Yeah, we terraformed this country because we destroyed our
I'd honestly
homeland.
believe it a little. Anyway.
Have you guys seen After Earth? It's like the opposite.
So we have to go terraform Mars?
Yeah.
These ones. It's just called Mars exploration.
Any sort of picture?
No, but it documents everything, like what they're doing or whatever, exploring.
Is this in the dumps that you got from WikiLeaks?
This is on
Mars exploration.
Oh yeah, WikiLeaks dumped so many
Intelligence
documents. In case you're listening on this podcast, go check it out.
Yeah, check out the
Literally
WikiLeaks
thousands
dump.
Look,
all the Clinton emails. Mars exploration, May 22nd, 1984. Central Intelligence Agency. The Mars exploration keyword. Mars. And this is about them
finding the pyramids on
that
Mars.
Trump declassifies stuff.
A whole bunch of shit.
I know, right?
So
you can look it up if you're an independent
He
journalist.
He declassified all the John F. Kennedy files too.
That's the most interesting.
Yeah.
See, that's the one thing that gives me a good feeling about Trump.
Yeah.
Because if you want people to know the truth about Kennedy, then you want people to know the truth about
Why
the
shouldn't we know?
Did anyone find anything on?
I didn't really hear much about it after he declassified them.
No. Everyone knows that that JFK was killed by
what's his name? I can't remember.
No,
his name.
not that. There's literally factions inside the United States government that wanted to get rid of the president.
Yeah.
That he wanted to exterminate the CIA, and he wanted to give all their, they wanted just it to be another part of the military.
Yeah.
Or the United States government, or the United States military.
Yeah.
Anyway, he wanted to get rid of that. The mob had every reason to want to kill him because the mob helped get him elected, and then
he was a crazy person,
the mob.
But he was really, really popular though. Even he was a Democrat, but he was really popular among Republicans too.
Mm-hmm. As charismatic as he was, and
yeah, he really was
cool as a president. I mean, he'd go get his dick sucked everywhere.
Yeah, he's a badass, and he was just a Kennedy, so it was just like, fuck, man.
It sucks that there's a Kennedy now that's just shitting all over the Kennedy name.
Yeah.
He's just some fucking pedophile liberal.
Sucks.
Except for his son, the interesting story about him going missing.
Yeah.
And he showed you. I can't believe you haven't heard of QAnon. They're like WikiLeaks, where they like expose all kinds of shit and they release it on Twitter.
I love that shit.
Anyway,
dude.
Yeah, that's why he showed you that if you go to his Kennedy's son's grave or whatever, the monument they put for him, it's a giant Q. That's why people said that he faked his death when completely under,
That's such a trip because that's probably what happened to Michael Rockefeller too.
Michael
Yeah, he's
Rockefeller?
the other one you said they just
Yeah.
like dropped off the face of the planet.
It's so crazy.
All right, guys, I know you're not ready for this,
What time is it?
but it's
Almost
6:25.
5 minutes before Wampo clock.
Wampo clock, Wampo combo. Get this, some more declassified CIA shit. of
Lay it
course.
on me.
Reports of Russian soldiers interacting with a UFO, shooting it down, humanoid-like things coming out of the UFO, merging into one beam of light, exploding, and then turning 26 soldiers into stone.
What the fuck?
Bro, just like if you know Sodom and Gomorrah, they
Yeah.
turned into pillars of salt.
Let me read this to you.
That's a trip.
Yeah, apparently there's a way to actually turn your body into it by sucking the moisture out of it.
Into salt?
So I guess salt is like a pretty big chunk of what your body's made out of.
Yeah.
Being like 70% water and then like a ridiculous amount of salt, like
Yeah.
10%.
Damn.
All right, let me see if I can read
So can you
this.
imagine being reduced to salt?
That'd be such a
Fuck.
trip,
Dude, I'd use you to salt my steak. I don't give a fuck.
Let's see. After some name they classified dissolved in 1991, the KGB, Top Secret Intelligence Administration, a lot of material from that Secret Intelligence Administration department found their way abroad, in particular to the CIA, as reported by the authoritative magazine Canadian Weekly World News.
Damn. You're reading a bit too much, though. Can you get to the point?
Yeah, I'm trying to find like where it specifically
Fuck
says.
you.
Oh, right here. Okay. Okay. The file contains not only many documentary photographs and drawings, but also testimonies
Of the soldiers?
of actual participants in the event. One of the CIA representatives referred to this case as the horrific picture of revenge on the part of extraterrestrial creatures. Okay, so according to the KGB material, a quite low-flying spaceship in the shape of a saucer appeared above a military unit that was conducting routine training maneuvers. For unknown reasons, somebody unexpectedly launched a surface-to-air missile and hit the UFO. It fell to Earth not far away, and 5 short humanoids within the UFO with large heads and large black eyes, is quotes, emerged from it. It is stated in the testimonies by the 2 soldiers who remained alive
Those are the elves.
that after freezing themselves from the debris, the aliens, or from freeing themselves from the debris, the aliens came close together, then merged into a single object that acquired a spherical shape. That's also in quotes. That object began to buzz and hiss sharply and then became brilliant white. In a few seconds, the spheres grew much bigger, exploded by flaring up with an extremely bright light. At the very instant, 23 soldiers who had watched the phenomenon turned to stone poles. Only 2 soldiers who
Poles, bro. Or pillar. Like a
Yeah.
big pillar. Sodom and Gomorrah with an alien attack.
Only 2 soldiers who stood in the shade and were less exposed to the luminous explosion survived. The KGB reports go on to say that the remains of the UFO and the petrified soldiers, that's also in quotes, were transferred to a secret scientific research institution near Moscow.
Dude, now get
What
the picture.
Well, that's the...
It's like an actual
Yeah,
document.
it's like a CIA
Yeah.
document, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Holy
That's a
fuck.
trip, dude.
All right, now get this. I know I just hit you with flat Earth thing, but I think aliens are possible even on a
yeah.
flat Earth. Because if you listen to Alex Jones and when he talks about these millionaires who do their seances and shit to summon like ideas and how the Nazis did seances to try to get technology and shit, they say they contact things. Now you don't have to contact an extraterrestrial thing that's out of the world.
Yeah.
It just has to be not from this world.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the dimensions and all the dimension talking like that, and the only reason the hollow Earth theory is a theory is because there's a naval ship captain who claimed that he went into some sort of wormhole in the Pacific Ocean. This thing turned him inverted and actually put him in it went like this, like inverted, and then he ended up right side up again, but in a different ocean. And when he landed, he talked to people, and these people didn't know who the fuck he were. Anyway, he turned around, got inverted, got out of there. He came back and he reported it to the United States government, what the fuck he saw. And he said that he saw other people. So, if there's really these weird dimensions and shit like that.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, is there's just different dimensions.
Yeah. And that's how we talk to other people, these elves or whatever the fuck they are.
Because I don't think that there's like a civilization that's living inside of
on
the
some
Earth.
other planet or something.
It had to have been like a portal into a different dimension.
Yeah.
It's a trip.
And that's just even more complicated, because that sounds way more complicated than going out of some other planet.
I've always believed in aliens. I don't even think that they're not like what we think, like
at
big
all.
green
It'll
heads,
probably
you know.
be
Like, I honestly think they're probably just like us.
I wonder if they do look just like us.
There's different species of human that just went missing, like the Denisovans.
So let me hit you with the religious way of looking at aliens.
All right.
So the way that the Mormons look at it is everybody that dies, if you've, done what you're supposed to do in life, you'll go to like one of 3 different kingdoms. There's the terrestrial, and celestial is the top kingdom. And basically it says that if you get the highest pillar of the celestial kingdom, you basically are your own god. Like, you'll be able to be like God and create your own universe and all that kind of thing. And so from what they say, God used to be a human like us. And he ended up hitting the celestial kingdom, and so he became his own god and created the earth and all the planets and everything.
That's pretty.
It's kind of like Hindus, where they believe in Nirvana.
Really similar to Hindu and some pagan beliefs.
Really? It's a trip. But then they also say
hell and heaven, same thing. Like, it's like another dimension. If you had
aliens are just other people that hit the top level of the celestial kingdom and made their own worlds. And so they're just probably just like us, but they're just either in other dimensions or they're so far away out of our solar system.
No, but they're
that we just can't see
interfering with
them.
us. I don't think they're that. I don't think they're like super enlightened things that entered some sort of heaven or something.
Well, not now.
They're contacting us.
They're just like us now. They're just regular people like us now. But I'm saying they got created by a separate god.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's 2 different gods that hit the celestial kingdom, and they both made their own universes.
Intelligent.
Yes. And so our universe is our god, and aliens are from another universe with another god. You see what I'm saying?
And do you know why? Here's the main reason I believe that. I know this is funny because there's really no evidence or anything behind this, but the guy who started NASA, when he died, he had something erected, and like a statue erected on his grave.
Yeah.
And the quote that's on his tombstone is from the Old Testament, and it says like the kingdom of man will never scratch the, what's it called, the giant barrier, the firmament of God. Right. And you know what a firmament is? A firmament is like a giant dome that holds together atmosphere and everything.
Yeah.
And he says the kingdom of man will never scratch the firmament of God. And that's the last thing that he had written on his tombstone before he died. And that's because he talked about the firmament.
Yeah.
And then he died, and then NASA continued, and they did space travel and everything. But he called it the firmament of God. So even if you see there's a firmament around us, and I see the moon and I see Mars and shit like that, I'm not saying those things aren't there and they don't exist. I'm saying maybe those things are way more significant or important just because they look like, I just can't see them from where we're at. We're in a different dimension for all I know. We're bubbled in an atmosphere.
That's true. I don't know, dude. Existence is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just speculating about this stuff's fun, but I believe in everything that
Magic's
it'll be
probably
really
real.
cool.
A smoke, gentlemen.
Probably real.
You two keep talking. It's Bufo clock.
Oh,
But
shit,
I think
Bufo
magic
clock.
has to do with science.
Yeah, dude. I think
We're talking about that.
I think magic honestly has to do with the quantum realm.
Yeah.
Honestly,
For real.
it's almost too parallel. Like there's too many things that make sense in ancient culture magic, where they talk about how shit works or how like you can make atom shift and stuff.
Yeah.
Makes sense in the
Trip,
quantum
dude.
realm.
Once we die, though, we'll figure it all out.
Maybe I'll figure it out before I die.
Yeah. Hopefully. This has been another episode of In the Store.
It is Womp O'Clock, and we might come back to not Womp, but
We will womp.
wait. Oh shit, dude.
What?
I guess they don't know yet, but
What?
when will be the last in the store?
We will do another In the Store. Everything's kind of breaking up. We're getting a new district manager and
Could
moving
very much
stores
be our
and
last
shit.
one.
Nah, we'll make another one. At least one more. So stay tuned. Please like and subscribe. We need you now more than ever.
Please.
And I hope you guys enjoyed another episode of
In the Game.
Yeah, and be gay.
Except don't be gay, because that's weird. No, I'm just kidding. Be gay.